Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to be doing a showcase on the physical Dokkan Fest RADITZ. Now, this guy has an interesting reputation, to say the least. He is known to be probably one of the worst Dokkan Fest releases within the past year or two, so I do want to do a showcase going over him just to see if this guy really is all that bad. Well, I mean, he is all that bad, actually. Let me correct myself, but he does have a couple uses in some areas where he can be quite useful. Well, he can be kind of useful. So I do want to showcase those points during the video and just showcase him overall because, of course, he isn't really the best unit, but he does have some uses. So, yeah, this is the team we're going to be running him on. He is under his own full 200% leader skill. We have a lot of support on here, and I mean a lot. Literally every unit on here is supporting him. So, in terms of links and support, he should be looking really good, but you got to keep in mind it is physical RADITZ, so you know, I don't know how good he's gonna be looking. But yeah, before we get into his details, just make sure you guys like and subscribe. Keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip to the legendary Vegeta event showcase or whatever difficult event I decide to bring him in, absolutely feel free to do that. And I mean, yeah, let's just get into this guy's kit. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Sand Saga or Pure Sands, category Ki +3, HP tag and defense plus 170%. And then he gives an additional HP tag and defense plus 30% for characters who also belong in the Space Traveling Warriors category. So this is pretty much all of the, like the Team Bardock units. This even includes the Super Strike Vegeta and the AGL Super Strike Vegeta. So, I mean, obviously he does lead Pure Sands as well, so that covers a lot of, you know, good units. And Sand Saga is a pretty good category too. I don't really think it's anything too crazy, but it's still nice he has it, so overall, not the worst leader skill, especially because he has Pure Sands in there. And his super attack effect actually is really good, well, except for one thing. So he greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes supreme damage to all enemies, and then that's it. So the 50% attack and defense is really nice, the AoE is really nice, but you'll notice this guy is only doing supreme damage, which is not what he needs. He needs to do immense damage, which is what most TURs are doing nowadays. And I get he's an AoE unit, but that doesn't matter. He still needs to be doing immense damage. So for sure, the fact that he does not have that does kind of limit how good his attack stats and all that are going to be. And then getting into this guy's passive, he gets attack and defense plus 150%. He gets an additional attack and defense plus 50% when performing a super attack if facing only one enemy, and if that enemy's HP is 50% or less when the character performs a super attack. He gets an additional attack plus 100% and high chance of performing a critical hit, and then performs a critical hit within the same turn after receiving an attack, and then plus an additional defense plus 150% when facing 2 or more enemies, and then Ki +2 for the rest of the battle when delivering the final blow. Yeah, you can kind of tell this guy isn't really going to be that good just off of this. For sure, I mean, for him to look good defensively, you need to be facing 2 enemies, and that pretty much just makes him only good in, like, Super Battle Road. We're not actually going to be taking him in Super Battle Road in this video, but we are going to be taking him in the Bojack Red Zone stage, and of course the first phase in that has 4 enemies, so we will see how much defense he's going to have there. And, I mean, even then, I don't know how good he's going to be, because this guy's only going to be looking at his best defensively after you super attack, and you do have to have that 150% defense activated, and that can be really, really difficult because pretty much all of the hard events in this game are just one enemy, so that is kind of going to restrict his use. But anyway, getting into this guy's active skill, it's actually really easy to get. It can be activated when facing only one enemy, and then after the character receives 3 or more attacks, so that's extremely easy to get. And then the effect is that it greatly raises his attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage, and stuns the enemy for 1 turn. So not really going to be doing too much other than that stun. That does kind of go hand in hand with him being better in Super Battle Road though. So, I mean, there is that. And then his links are Brutal Beatdown, Sand Warrior Race, category, the Sand Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Nightmare, and Fierce Battle. Yeah, as you can tell, Coward is obviously an amazing link. This is going to be activated a lot. Well, actually, you know what? I was going to make fun of this link for how bad it is, because obviously I was being sarcastic. But Yajirobe is on here as well, and I think we will get Yajirobe within the next couple months, because he is the banner unit to the Dokkan Fest Yamcha. So for sure, you could run him on a Sand Saga team alongside the RADITZ, and he could have this, but Coward isn't really that crazy of a link anyway, so yeah, in terms of his links, not really amazing. He'll work well with a lot of Turleses, Brolys, a lot of extreme class Vegetas, but other than that, not really the best link set. Just for who he's going to be working with. I mean, he does have, obviously, Sand Warrior Race, the Sand Lineage, and Prepare for Battle, and Fierce Battle, which, considering he leads Pure Sands, actually, you know what, that's not really that bad. But some of these other links, I mean, Coward specifically, just is not good. And then for his categories, he has Sand Saga, Low Class Warrior, Pure Sands, Goku Family, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, and then Signature Move. So, I mean, I would say that this is good because he's helping out a lot of categories. You know, stuff like Low Class Warrior would kind of need the help, but yeah, this guy's not helping that category at all. He's doing nothing. There are so many better physical options. Let me just name a couple right now. You could bring the physical Fasha, obviously the physical Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, who is insane. We'll get to him when his showcase, or when he's about to release on Global, and we'll do a showcase on him. And then there's the physical free LR Goku, who arguably is better than this Raditz. And just a lot of other units. Yeah, LR Bardock too is really crazy. There's this free-to-play Goku, who I would say Raditz is probably better than him, but still, there are other options. And this guy really isn't bringing much to the table anyway, so yeah, with all that said, though, let's go ahead and cut to when we are in the Legendary Vegeta event. Okay, so we are here in the Legendary Vegeta event, and at first I was a little mad because I was like, oh, we got two Raditzes on the same rotation, but I realized, actually, this is a really good rotation for him. We're going to have 5 out of 7 links active, and we have the support from the Broly and the Paragus, so start of turn, we're at 179k defense. Not good at all. That is really bad considering he has no other form of defense in his kit other than the 50% he gets on super attack. And he does technically get 50% when he performs a super attack in his passive as well. But the enemy has to be 50% or less, which, of course, we do not have right here because this is turn 1. We haven't even attacked yet. So, yeah, after we super attack, we are going to be around 250k-ish defense, which is good. I mean, that's not... well, no, that's not really good, but, like, that's alright, I guess. I mean, because then if he double supers, we can get to, like, 400k-ish defense, and then that is actually viable. Well, not really, but, you know, you won't instantly die as long as you have type advantage. So then it all really boils down to making sure he has type advantage, which that just depends on where you bring him. So, yeah, defensively, not really good at all, because for him to be somewhat good, you have to rely on additionals, and this guy has no built-in additionals whatsoever. So, for sure, not good at all. Now, I guess he is physical, so he does have that base 5 additional. So if you do want to build him full additionals, which I do suggest because, you know, that's pretty much the only way you would survive hard-hitting enemies is by double supering. 4.51, okay. Not really that good, but you do have to keep in mind this is an AoE, and we did crit right there too, which he does have built in his passive. Which, I don't know if we had it right here, or if that's something he got from his passive, or if that was a hidden potential system. But he does have crits built in, which is nice for sure. I mean, I want to double check really quick. I know I just read his passive, but I already forgot. Yeah, okay, so he performs a critical hit when, or after he receives an attack. And, yeah, okay, anyway, so, I mean, yeah, we did get the crit right there, so for sure really nice. But look at Nappa. Look at Nappa with 479k defense. You can't convince me that Nappa should not have been the Dokkan Fest. Like, they should have just, like, even a day before Raditz's banner came out, they should have been like, oh crap, wait, Raditz is bad. You know what, let's just switch the Dokkan Festival little icon over to Nappa instead, and then Raditz can be the banner unit. It would have just made so much more sense, right? I mean, look at that, 3.25. I mean, not really that crazy, but defensively right here, Nappa's like 700k defense. So, yeah, Nappa is crazy. Okay, now we're at like 800, 900k-ish defense, which is pretty good for a banner unit. I would say that's for sure a really high number. Yeah, so overall, not really the greatest turn for that Raditz on the previous rotation, but still, I mean, we'll wait to see a better rotation with him because we can always have double support like we have right here. And do we have any more links active? No, we do not. Okay, so we are still only going to have 5 out of 7 links active, but we do have double support now. So yeah, we do jump up to 200k defense pretty much on the dot. So after we super attack, we are going to be at 300k defense, and then if we get the other super, we would be above 400k defense. And that's not really that good. It's just not good, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you know, memes and jokes aside, if you're taking this guy where there's only one enemy, I mean, you can't run him as a lead, because then if you run him as a lead, you need to run you have to run another RADITZ, and then running 2 RADITZes, just no, you can't. But maybe you could get away with running this guy in like slot 3 and rotating him off, because that does help him, obviously, because he gets the super attack off because you're running him in slot 3, and if you get lucky and don't take that many attacks with him, you might be able to beat some difficult events. I mean, of course, that does boil down to how lucky you get with rotations, but anyway, though, so right here, we are going to be, once again, well, not once again, actually, we dropped down to 4 out of 7 links, so we are missing the Sand lineage, but we are at 193k defense, which is pretty bad. I was going to say that's pretty good, but no, that's pretty bad. Let's get the super attack with him. We'll do, like, we'll keep on going until we get his active skill, and then we'll call it, because, well, 8.21. Okay, so right here, the enemy is under 50% HP. So actually, right here, we were at 400k defense because we got the 50% from his super attack, like in his passive. So I mean, pretty good right there. Not really amazing, but in terms of damage, I mean, an 8 million attack stat by itself is all right. I guess there's a little bit of use in that for sure, especially if you have type advantage. You'd be doing a ton of damage, but let's go ahead and play this active skill right here and see how much damage it can do. His Japanese and English voice sound very different. I'm just realizing that now. But anyway, right here, 5 out of 7 links again. I'm going to stop saying it because you can see it on the screen. And start of turn, we're at 268k defense. Now, this did jump up because, of course, we do get the attack and defense when performing a super attack. And the active skill does count as a super attack. So, of course, we do have that active right here. And after we super, we're going to be at, we're going to be over 400k defense, I think. So for sure, that is useful. When I say this guy is good in some scenarios, I do use that term very lightly, because in terms of 400k defense for this guy, that is good. But is that good overall? No, that is not good. I mean, even if you had like 500, 600k defense just by itself, that's not necessarily good. But from what I'm expecting from this RADITZ, 400k defense post super attack is kind of good, I guess. Look at that, 200k damage from the, what is this, the 3rd phase, or the 4th phase in the Legendary Vegeta event? Yeah, not really that good. So, I do think for sure that this RADITZ is probably the worst Dokkan Festival release within the last 2 years, which is really unfortunate, because he's, you know, it's a Dokkan Fest RADITZ. RADITZ doesn't get much representation in this game, so I do think that if he was, like, really good, it would have helped a lot of teams out. But unfortunately, he is not that good, so, you know, he doesn't help the teams out. So, we'll get this rotation right here, and then we will go ahead and cut to when we are in the Bojack Red Zone stage. Now, I guess I'm just going to start recording from the beginning, because I want to see him get that multiple enemy buff. I think it's 150% defense, but I will still try and just record throughout the whole Red Zone just stage. But I'm not very confident that he would survive even normals from the final phase, but you know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So all right, well, with the enemy killed, let's go ahead and cut to when we are in the Bojack stage. Okay, guys, so we are here in the Bojack Red Zone stage, and we're kicking it off with a pretty good rotation. We're going to have 3 out of 7 links active, which isn't really the craziest, but we do have the support from the Nappa, so that is for sure going to be really useful. And right now, defensively, we're at 265k defense, which really is not that good, but of course, we get the 50% when performing a super attack, so that will bump us up to a little under 400k defense, which is still pretty bad, but I mean, I guess that's alright if you have type advantage. And I did actually bring a full Sand Saga team. I have no idea why. I just was really curious what the best lineup I could build. with the full Sand Saga team, and of course that's what I had. But right here, we unfortunately are not going to be able to get a super for the Nappa, but I think we're going to be alright because the first attack is physical. So as long as the STR attack isn't a super, we should be alright right here. I mean, yeah, double digits from that, and then, well, we got the additional anyway, so. But yeah, I mean, we got the support from the Nappa, we have 3 out of 7 links, and we are able to utilize his AoE right here, so regardless of his attack stat, well, 3 million, but what I was going to say was regardless of his attack stat, obviously we have the chance to crit right here, and then we have the, you know, the AoE, so a pretty useful rotation for him overall. I mean, a solid amount of damage, right? Considering we were damaging everyone, and we did hit a crit on, I think, 2 of those. So, I mean, there's something there, right? And then this LR Vegeta is also an AoE, actually. Not right now, but on his 18 key. So, come to think of it, you probably could run a Sand Saga AoE team and get away with it. Or you could run Raditz as the lead. You know, he'd be doing his AoE. You can bring the Int Raditz doing his AoE, the free-to-play Easy A one. You could bring the AGL Nappa doing his AoE. And then actually you could bring the new Easy A Physical Broly as well. So wait a minute. Maybe that's the new meta in World Tournament. You don't have to bring an all-types lead. You can just bring physical Raditz. Wait, maybe that was like this guy's purpose, because come to think of it, pretty much all the good World Tournament options are on his team. He obviously leads Pure Sand, so the STR Broly, the LR one is on his team. The physical Broly, the one that just Easy 8 is on his team. The AGL Nappa, the LR one is on his team. You know, of course, the LR Grade 8 Vegeta right here is on his team. Him himself is an AoE. The Int free-to-play Easy A Raditz is on his team. So you know what? I think I have learned one thing out of this video, and it's that this Raditz pretty much only has use in World Tournament, which does kind of suck, because World Tournament is arguably one of the worst game modes out right now. Or one of the worst game modes in Dokkan, because it's not out right now. But we are actually going to be getting one pretty soon in the Golden Frieza celebration. But anyway, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. Right here, we're at 247 start of turn defense. And that's not really that good, but we do only have 1 link active, so you'd have to keep that in mind. We'll showcase this rotation right here, which I don't even think we're going to be able to get a super. No, we're not. Okay, well, oh, I don't have any key items. I mean, I have the nuking items, but I'd like to save those. Let's do this, actually. Perfect. Okay, so we can super with him. Okay, so 1 link active, only fierce battle, and just not a good rotation for him. We have no support. So this is more of a realistic showing for him, because, of course, he does have a little bit of a odder link set. So I don't know if you'll be able to always have, like, 4 or 5 out of 7 links active. And, of course, some of his support units, you kind of have to go out of your way to bring. I mean, the STR Nappa is good, and the AGL Turles is good, but pretty much every other support unit that I was running isn't really amazing, or they're not out on Global right now. So, for sure, this is a very realistic rotation. And, I mean, once again, he's able to utilize his AoE right here. We can crit on some of these. And, I mean, let's just see how much damage he does right here. Well, after the Yamcha goes crazy. I mean, yeah, this Dokkan Fest Yamcha is insane. Dodge. Let's go. Ooh, and we're dodging more. All right, all right. All right, so... Ooh, that's bad. That's really bad. 2.2 million. That's, yeah, even if this crit, that's not... Yeah, that's still not good. Yeah, this ain't it. That's pretty bad. Okay. Well, I mean... we'll showcase this rotation right here, and then we'll go ahead and cut to the final phase of Bojack and see how well he can perform in there. But yeah, that last rotation really was bad. That was another level of, like, horrible. We didn't even hit a 2.5 million attack stat. I don't care if it's an AoE. That's not good at all. But right here, wow, we actually got to a 3 million attack stat. Okay. Okay. I mean, other than a couple 8 million attack stats, this guy was consistently at like a 3 million attack stat throughout the video. So seeing him, or a little under 3 million, so seeing him now a little over 3 million is, it's pretty nice. So, I mean, yeah, with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the final phase of Bojack, where I mean, I'm not expecting us to tank double digits from him, but we'll see if he can at least be somewhat useful in there. So yeah, let's go ahead and cut to that. Alright, so we are here in the final phase of Bojack, and right here, start of turn, we are at 173k defense. Now, if you're wondering why the Nappa is so low on defense, is because I used the Senzu Bean, but we were actually at like 2k HP, so we were really close to dying. But yeah, unfortunately, we did not, and we had a Senzu Bean, so we were able to make use of that. And I mean, you know, Raditz is gonna be fine right here. He's tanking like a couple of attacks before we super, but, you know, he'll still easily be able to survive. So, I mean, let's see how well he can tank right here. Oh. Well, never mind.